We were visited two institutions, Tanlot and Dennis Secondary School. Tanlot is Tanzania National Roads Agency. It was started on 1st July of 2000. It was noticed by government by number 293. It has vision and mission. Some of those, it improve roads and maintenance and development of those roads around regions. Its responsibility, it improves roads and maintain road surface and qualify these roads. St. Denis is a private institution which was started on 2008 under manager Mr. Kesa Masanza. It was an institution which provided education all-level students.
Now we'll talk about organization and management structure of Dennis Secondary School. Dennis Secondary School has school director. The school director is the owner of the school. But since the school has both primary and secondary school, there's a school manager whose responsibility is to manage both primary and secondary school. But in the case of our study, we're going to talk about the secondary school. The general manager of secondary school is the school headmaster. School headmaster is the one who manages all activities concerned about secondary school. But below the school headmaster, there's a school board. The school board is functioning as the advisor of the school headmaster. Below the school headmaster, there is a deputy headmaster. Deputy headmaster supervises all activities conducted by the headmaster. And there's discipline office and the academic office. Discipline office deals with the discipline of the school, and the academic office mainly deals with the academic of the school. Then below the academics and discipline office, there is the heads of subjects departments. This deals with supervising issues concerning all subjects departments. And below the subject departments, there's other offices like sports and game office, counseling and the social affairs office, environmental office, and the other workers.
Hi, I am here to represent the techniques of work in the planning of Tanlod and the Dennis Secondary School. There are different objects of framework of mission that led to achieve its goal. Tanlod made the following objects: to improve the network of highway and the regional roads, to improve the financial management, to improve the human resources management. And the Dennis Secondary School is maintained the following objects: it improves the academic performance, to educate, to remove Division 0 and to increase Division 1, and to remove Division 4.
In front of you to present the parts of human resource and management. At Tanlod, the human resource and management, the head of department is the one who is responsible to ensure all staff are available. But at St. Denis Secondary School, the headmaster is responsible to choose the applicants which have already submitted their letter.
I'm in front of you to present staff relation, motivation in workers in both two themes. I will start with Tanlods. In Tanlods, there is motivation for trees, house, and good certificates for best workers. While in Dennis School also has the same for both sides. Also in staffs there is two workers
The administrative communication of the institution, starting with the TANROAD administrative communication. Communication between TANROAD and other parastatals is done by letter, email, telefax, telephone, mobile phone, and the EMS in terms of the outside of the organization. TANROAD communicates within the organization by using the letter. For example, when the head of the agency needs the information from the administrative office, use the letter to intend the message to the administrative head, and then the message will back to the head of the organization by using the letter also. But when the TANROAD wanted to communicate with the outside organization or institution or national agency of TANROAD, it uses the email, telefax, or use the telephone or mobile phone. For example, when the message intended may be for the construction of road are required, or there an accident happen maybe in a road, the message will be sent by using email or by using telefax to the national organization there, where the message will be back again by using the email also. But when the conflict or contradiction happen, also tended to use the email or to use the reference number for the message intended there. Also in any private institution, then you see administrative communication. Then you see administrative communication within organization. The communication are done by using memo.
Yeah, I'm going to explain about financial management. Financial management consists of expenditure and revenue. Starting with Dennis Secondary School, revenue can be collected through school fees and other sources such as stationery and garage. There's another new constructed source of revenue, which is hospital. In TANROAD, the revenue can be collected through taxing.
In our presentation today, we'll be talking about government policies, laws, and acts that affect functionings of TANROADs, together with Dennis Secondary School. Starting with Dennis, when you're talking about the government laws and policies, you're talking about laws that affect or guide and underline duties and responsibilities of each institute or agency in appropriate. When we start about TANROADs, there are some of the acts that really affect them or guide them in performing the activities. Number one is Executive Agency Act Cap 245 as amended from time to time. Now the act states that to make the provision enabling the establishment and operation of semi-autonomous executive agents within the ambit of the government ministry for the purpose of providing public services in a selected area in more efficient and effective manner and more related manner. Another act is Road Act number 13 of 2007, which talks about road financing, development, maintenance, management, and related members to the TANROAD. Another act is Public Finance Act number 6 of 2001, that states that impose on other certain tax duties, levies, fees, and amended certain written laws related to collection and management of public revenues. Last but not least, of the acts that perform or guide the functioning of the TANROAD, it's Public-Private Partnership Act number 18 of 2010, that states that to provide an institutional framework for implication of public-private partnership agreement between public sectors, private sectors, entities, and set of rules.
I represent the comparison between two firms, which are TANROAD and Dennis Secondary School. Both are motivated as their workers. Both have one top manager. Both have short and long-term plan. The following are differences between the two firms. TANROAD government sector, while Dennis Secondary School are private sector. TANROADS have systematic way of making a plan, while DENS have no systematic way of making a plan.
I'm here to make the conclusion of the project after visiting the two institutions from TANROADS and Dennis Secondary School. There was no any difference amongst them, but there are some of the responsibilities that tend to differ. Like in TANROADS, they mostly deal with construction of roads and maintenance about the main roads on the region. But on Dennis Secondary School, they mostly deal with the increasing the result performance of Tanzania through provision of the education to the most students after completing the standard 7.
Once again, I'm here to represent the recommendation from two films which have been done. That is the TANROADS and Dennis Secondary School. From starting with the TANROADS, the first recommendations is that a government should increase the funds to the regional TANROADS, that for purpose of buying new equipment and for construction purpose. And the second recommendation, they should employ more expertise like information technology and engineer, increase the level of construction of roads. And the third recommendation, the TANROADS should have the sub-office in district level, because in case of regional level is too high. And the Morogoro region, there is no office except that the regional office. So the TANROADS should build the district office so as to reduce other activities that have been done by the regional level. And the fourth recommendation, the strategy plan should well be explained by TANROADS. The strategies that is formed by the central TANROADS, there's no well explained, but in this recommendation should be well known to other agents. And the last recommendation from the TANROADS, the regional should have website information, so as every agency should visit the regional TANROADS. On the case of Dennis Secondary School, the first recommendation, the Dennis Secondary Schools should have joined with the Union of Teachers, that is the Chama cha Walimu. The school does not join with the Chama cha Walimu Tanzania, so the school should have joined with the Chama cha Walimu Tanzania. And the second recommendation, the management and the administration of the school should adhere the government's secular government provided of the education matter. This will enable avoid the misunderstanding with the government.
Okay, this is the acknowledgement from the group of environmental science and management. First of all, we thank the Sokoine University of Agriculture and its management for giving us the letter that we are distributing in different institutions so as to get the chance to learn this issue. So first of all, we thank the Sokoine University administration, also Mr. Dr. Russell Madaha. We thanks very much for your cooperation